What is good, rookies? Welcome to our round 3 review where we are suddenly seeing green. We aimed for this and we somehow managed it with a 1975. We've managed to hold on to our 1% still, which is a bit easier to do given that we still have, the tight rankings and it's all very, very close. But this is positive signs for things to come. Without further ado, let's just jump straight into it to see how our team went. We can see the key stats below of our rank, our round score, and then our best trade-in, our best player, Mr. Sinclair. Amazing stuff. Before we go any further, let's just jump in and we'll just go from order because it's so much easier to do that. Zorko, this man is averaging a 136. This is crazy. He is 36 years old. Great starting pick. And they have Richmond this week. Nuts. We're already going to put the VC on him. Locking it in. How can we not? So Zorko providing the goods. Our trade-in in Sinclair. So we actually moved Perryman down to Fridge, who we broke, but we moved Stu up to Sinclair. We wanted to keep Stu, but it just wasn't going to pan out the way that we wanted it to. It was a laid out, which we all kind of knew was going to happen. Bloody Chris Scott, honestly. But Sinclair, considered VCing him once I found out that Steele was a late out as well, but got FOMO of being outside the pack from a VC perspective. So we VC'd McRae. We didn't take it though because we wanted to take the chance on dunks, which all things considering should have worked, but did not. So we could have had an amazing score if we got our VC correct. So this is twice now it's let us down. So I need to just get better. And if it's a safe VC, just take it and stop trying to be greedy guts, as Scott Father would say. So Sinclair, probably the biggest win of a trade-in. Obviously, the biggest starting pick was Dunkley. Sheasel is an absolute letdown at the moment. Only scored an 89. Got some junk points towards the end of the game. He seems like he's just a Mr. Fix-It at this point. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Hopefully he finds a role and hopefully he can do well and, kind of kick things back up for us. I don't think he's in the trade plans as of yet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We had the Fridge, a 68. Not what we wanted. We broke the Fridge, guys. He still made cash, but there is all honesty, a consideration to trade him out. Now, that's a waste of 2 trades. 100%. I'm willing to cop that early just because I do want to be able to pivot and have the right structure moving forward. So he's in actual consideration because now his break even is one off what he scored. So we might hold him, we might trade him. Ridiculous moves. I 100% own that. It was a silly trade in. I should have literally gone to Bice, got Bice in early, and fielded Trainer because we're going against our rookies for defense. A Pryor with a 78, a Reed with an 88, and a Trainer with a 90. Outside of Pryor, Reed and Trainer scored less than 40 points last week. And all of a sudden they come out and they're like, hold on, you guys have been screaming for cash gen and defensive rookies. Let me just do that. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So maybe we can move to another rookie. Maybe we just move Frazier down to Bice, for example. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Our midfield stunk. Horrid. Dunkley, his DE let him down. It was like 42% DE. He could have had a big game if he just cleaned that up. But otherwise, he did get scaled up. He got kissed a little bit to go to 105, being one of the only 2 players in our midfield that tunned. One of the others being a rookie. Ridiculous. Richards, another situation where DE let him down. Kennedy actually had more CBAs than he has in the last 2 games. Richards dropped back, but it was also Richards' DE that let him down. If his DE was cleaner, this would have been an easy ton. Just unfortunate. Chera is probably one of the better starting picks from a mid-pricer perspective. Hasn't gone under a 98, so this is what we've seen as his floor. So we'd love to see this. Oliver, can't get a read on if he's back or not. The game I watched this week, he looked like Oliver from last year. So this scares me a little bit. His break even is still 67, so he's still going to make some cash, but I'll be looking to move him on pretty soon if this maintains. O'Driscoll, man, what starting rook. Nod has just been making all the cash. he still has a negative break even. Ridiculous. Ashcroft, really unfortunate. Just a lot of chaos this week. It just didn't have too much impact. A 36, but again, he's probably actually going to stop making cash soon if he doesn't clean up his act. So he might be one we look to move on. Lindsay, very early, went down with an injury. We're still waiting on confirmed reports, but it could be a strain or something like that to his knee, I believe. Can't remember the terminology for it, but at this stage, we kind of have to wait for Tuesday to really know if we need to move him on or not, because the 9 in his system really hurts his cash gen because his break even just skyrocketed to 28. So we're probably not going to make as much cash on him as we would have liked, but you still could turn it around if you want to hold him. Hewitt and Nevitt both were named sub. I had Nevitt on field and then switched out going, oh, Hewitt won't be sub. He was. Still outscored Nevitt 22 and it's best 18, so it didn't count. But man, talk about the chaos of this round. Chris Scott is a buffoon. Laid out for Stewart. Smith did okay. That was fine. But never as sub and Mullen on field. Like, come on. Don't do that again, please, Chris. Now, Sada's still out and Campo got dropped. So hopefully we see Campo get named on the wing again. Just a lot of Carlton supporters just screaming at their ins for this week. So we'll see what happens. Gawn at glance, 88 was a pretty poor performance, but aside to TDK and Nank, like the rucks were pretty average in regards to most common rucks owned. So 88, 1 point off Sherry. So we take that when we can. TDK again, 133. Should have VC'd him. Would have been a lovely little score. Missed out on a bunch of points, not even considering him against English. Boy didn't play, obviously. Rankin single-handedly helping save our forward line. Just looks great. Great starting pick. The Horny Man. I think a lot of people are getting rid of the Horny Man. If we look at our trades so far, a lot of people are doing it, and I don't blame them. A lot of people are getting out of Sheasel, even Nevitt, just because, again, that cash gen is kind of shot and very clear on the trade-ins as well. So Horny Man is definitely on the chopping block. McRae, a solid 120, been an absolute gun. Daniel, again, providing the goods. This is what we got him in for. Hell Pepper, amazing first half, then took a head knock, had to do a HIA, and then just kind of disappeared. The star of the show, though, is Davidson. A rookie going 129, and his break-even is now negative. That's 88. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So he's going to make us plenty of cash. Kako got a 62, pretty solid, but his break-even is inching very close to that 30 mark if he doesn't kick goals or doesn't get involved. So still some cash. We could probably get him to about 220, I imagine, then we can move him on. Stone scored a 46. Still has just a 4 break-even, so not too much longer left on Stone. Hopefully he does. He seems to have held his spot, so we can still make some nice bench cash off him, essentially. And Henderson, trade in, bit of a letdown, 43, just couldn't get involved. Melbourne looked absolutely terrible. So I think that is, when Melbourne play good, Henderson will probably do well. When they don't, it's just one of those things. We thought about Bowie instead of Fridge, which would have been an absolute lifesaver of a pick, but because we actually did take Fraser's score, unfortunately. So this could have been in the 2000s, which would have been absolutely amazing, but alas, we still had positive results from this week. Overall, I'm not too unhappy with how he went. Everyone had to take a bullet in some way or form. There was a machine gun going around with absolute chaos, and it was horrible. We thought round 2 was bad, and round 3 was also just as bad, if not worse. Hopefully next week is much, much better. Early trade options, which are going to be really interesting. I want Whitfield. I believe I need to be doing the right thing and getting in like maybe a Bice and a Moraes. Sure. I don't want Fridge. I don't want Horny Man. So bold moves to start. But if we bring in Smith, we can get Wit. And then we can move probably, if we boost, let's just say Lindsay moves on, we can bring in a Moraes. Or Moraes, however you pronounce his name. I believe he is a must-have rookie. This gives us some cash in the bank moving forward, which is always solid. We get Nevitt on field for Hewitt. I really doubt that he's going to be sub again, but we'll see. In regards to who we're going to field, we're probably not changing too much in the forward line. Smith has GMHBA this week against Melbourne, which I will be going to, which I'm really excited for. Culpepper has Richmond, so he'll be staying, and then Davidson just looks in solid form. So I think we'll keep Davidson on. Depending on who's sub and if someone's dropped, the flex will change to whoever that might be. We obviously have Roberts back in and Pryor and Reed out for their bye. Not going to loop because we have no one to loop with, but Trainer will be on field along with Roberts. Our VC is going to be Zorko, and our captain is going to be Whitfield. Now, in regards to like rookies that we can try to get in, again, I'm not going to do too much, but this is pretty standard. There's a Bice, there's Moraes. There's a few different people that we can look at getting in, but usually I'd say Bice and Moraes are probably the must-haves if you had to get one. I don't know if Bice is a must-have now, considering that we've now got our rookies in defense scoring well. It's just whether this is consistent. They're also going to make a lot of cash too now. So I don't know if Bice really makes that essential, but we could do some other things if we don't get Whitfield in. But I look at this back line and I won't really have to touch it. We literally just put probably Reed on field and we just look at fixtures. So for example, around 5, Richmond have got Freo, Essendon got Melbourne. I'd probably go Reed on field. Then round 6, Essendon got West Coast, could be a Reed game again. Richmond have GWS, the Suns, sorry. So it could just be Reed or Pryor on field. I think Reed probably ahead of Pryor still. Reed seems to have bounced back from his absolute flogging from Adelaide, which is nice. But this is kind of where we're sitting. We're going to boost again, or I decide to miss rookies, but it could be a Camporelli to Moraes as well, and we hold on to Lindsay just because his cash isn't going to move if he misses a game, and then use it when someone else puts their hand up. That's definitely a pivot that we can do. There's a few things that we can shift around here, which is nice. But this is where we're kind of sitting. Would love to know how you guys are going. What did you score? What are your rage trades? This is probably coming out on a Monday morning-ish. So yeah, definitely let me know. Lockout trades. Lockout actually lifted very early tonight compared to last week, which was nice. I spent all Sunday night on a stream with DR over on DR's channel. So if you haven't checked that out, it was a movie length stream of 3 hours plus. So crazy. It had a full panel of Damo. So Supercoach Edge, we had Supercoach Gob, we had Supercoach Pro, we had JG, we had Scoops. Like, we had so many people pop in and out of that stream. It was great. So definitely go give that a watch back if you haven't seen it already. But with that aside, guys, if you've made it this far, click that like, hit subscribe, chasing 500, and I'll see you guys in the next one.